And I want to speak specifically today about offenses. And I'm being transparent because that is something that I struggle with, like offense, because I feel that sometimes when you give so much, and I'm sure you guys can relate to what I'm saying, or maybe you guys feel the similar way. Sometimes you give so much and you expend so much energy towards people, their situation, their issues, and you get met back with very little, or even it's just disregarded, or maybe your sacrifice isn't acknowledged, or maybe you just have different things going on inside of you. Hey, welcome to another video. Welcome to the Bajo channel. This is the home of self-care, beauty, wellness, and any and everything that'll help you to become the most empowered version of you. We are in 2026, live and kicking. Thank God that we all made it. As we approach the new year, I wanted to direct the self-care channel and wellness and this Bajo whole experience. I want to begin this year off focusing on ourselves. A lot of times we spend so much focus on other people and what they're doing, how they're responding. But I really want to start with me, you, ourselves, because of everything that happens to us in our lives. The only thing that you can really control is your response to any given situation at any given time. And that is unresolved and dealing with other people's situation, it kind of is a trigger. So today I just want to talk about being honest with ourselves and understanding why a lot of our offenses is not necessarily about the offender bothering us or trying to hurt us, but it's more deeper than that. So I want to go over a few things in this video. Of course, I'm going to make this a two-part video. I want to get through this smoothly. Because I know this is an area that a lot of us really deeply need to work on. And I'll start the conversation by my mom, when I was younger, she always used to say to me that you can run from everybody. You can run anywhere you want to run, but you cannot run from yourself. And that is one of the truest statements in life. I don't care where you go. I don't care what you do. You have to always come face to face with you, yourself, your character, your energy, everything that is about you, your entire context. You have to deal with you. And sometimes that's a lot for us to bear because we haven't stopped to analyze our responses and perhaps the work that needs to be done on ourselves. And so that's what this conversation is about. I'm starting with myself. I'm sharing this conversation with you so we can work on ourselves in 2026 and move smoothly throughout life, move smoother throughout life, because being offended is something that's going to happen. It's going to happen. You cannot tread this earth without somewhere, somehow, somebody offending you, whether it has something to do with what's going on in you or whether somebody's just outrageously disrespectful and they're going to offend you. But again, our response is key. So I am starting with myself because I am the queen of being offended, and I don't think I hold grudges, but I remove myself from situations very, very quickly. And sometimes when I look back, it's not necessarily the person that offended me. It's just some thing going on inside of me that I myself have to deal with. And that's just me being honest. So number one, I want you to be honest with yourself as I have to be honest with myself. A lot of times when we have these strong reactions, it usually points to old wounds within us, insecurities being touched. And not just the present moment, but it's touching things within us that has not been healed yet. We have a lot of unhealed trauma within us, and we don't even know that it's there oftentimes until you get offended with something that triggers it. When we feel these things or we are triggered by certain situations, I am encouraging you, I encourage myself to take a look at that unhealed space within you. It is not anybody's responsibility to tiptoe around the traumas within you that are unhealed, or me. That is not their business. That is not their responsibility. And in fact, it's not fair to put that level of burden on people that's in your life or in your spaces to have to be so guarded and walk on eggshells, not to crack your sensitive spaces within you. Being honest with yourself will help you to come face to face with that unhealed trauma within you. And moving forward, those spaces become not so easily disturbed. If you are unhealed in any area of your life, it's your responsibility to address that and to heal. And healing is a process. Whatever you have to do, whether you have to go to therapy, whether you have to do more prayer, whether you have to engage in more healing activities, whatever you have to do, you need to get to getting. That's it. You need to get to getting, because you're going to carry this around. I'm going to carry this around for the rest of my life. And I will say this. A lot of times our unhealed traumas and the unhealed spaces within us, it causes us to become sick. Whether it's a mental sickness or whether it's going to manifest in a physical sickness, those unhealed and those spaces of trauma within us, they have to manifest somewhere, whether in our behavior, first in our behavior, and then they start to express itself outwardly. And oftentimes we're carrying all these type of illnesses and sicknesses and diseases in our body because we cannot let go of the hurt and the pain of today, yesterday, or whenever it was. And for me, one of the things that I am working through, and I'm being honest with myself, and I'm saying, it's not worth me destroying my body and my mind, holding on to offenses, and sometimes they are warranted. That's not even the purpose of this conversation, whether they're warranted offenses or not. How we respond to it is key, right? Because even when you respond to it in a detrimental fashion, you're actually hurting yourself. You're hurting you. It may not be today that a dis-ease manifests, but over time, years and years of like unforgiveness and resentment and bitterness, that thing manifests some way, somehow. And it shows up in different ways, whether it's physically, mentally, psychologically, you're going to be affected because your body, our minds are not designed to hold and to process that level of bitterness and hurt and trauma. We have to get it out. That is why having a hobby, releasing anything that can allow you to have that cathartic experience, art, yoga, running, exercising, whatever it is. And that's one form of release, but you have to have like a system of release, because as you trying to heal from one offense, new ones are coming in constantly. And I had to sit down and say, hey, if this is how it is or has been, how can I respond differently, or how can I position myself to handle this in a way that is not so detrimental to me, my health, my psyche? Another reason why we get so easily offended is because we expect something different. Your expectations are not met. And if we think that people are going to always meet your expectations, we're going to be traumatically disappointed every single time. I am learning how to stop setting expectations for people. It is hard. I am transparent as I can be right now. It is hard for me to do that because I feel that I show up in a certain way for other people, so they should at least match what I'm doing. However, everyone doesn't have the capacity that you have to show up the way you do. And it's not fair for you to put that expectation on other people, for them to show up for you in a way, right, that you show up for them. They may not even know how. You show up for them that way because that's who you are. That's your filter. That's how your perspective. That's how you see life. That's how you see them. You cannot expect people or put the burden on people to show up for you in that way. Unfair. And it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to them. So as we start 2026, let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest. We are offended a lot, not necessarily because of the offender. I'm not releasing them from their accountability and their responsibility for doing or saying or doing whatever they did, but I'm placing the power back in our hands so that you can understand that it's a lot of self-searching that we need to do. We gotta self-search. And that's the hardest thing. When it comes to self-care, that's hard to really dig in and say, hey, Delcy, you're not, that ain't right. You need to fix you. That's big. When you look at this mirror and say, you need to fix you, that's powerful. And that also allows you to be in a seat of control, that you can take control over how you're responding to all of these onslaughts of offense. Because my prayer is that after a while, I don't even look at them as offenses anymore. It is what it is, because now my response has changed. And that's the power. When you talk about self-care, you have to do whatever you need to do to protect that space within you from harboring all of this resentment and bitterness. And that's why we go through so many bouts of depression and anxiety and all of this excessive, just having a very difficult time being in your skin, because it's so uncomfortable, because you have all of this rage and unsettled traumas in you that we just refuse to deal with, because guess what? We do not want to look at ourselves in the mirror, because that would show you something not so pleasant, and now you have to deal with it. So I am the first one to take that mantle and say, you know what? I'm going to look at me. I got to look at me. Because it's some things about myself I don't like. I don't like that reaction to that. I don't like that. And only I can change that. Or I can shift my attention to other people and their issues that they have to deal with. Or I can really get in and say, you know what? No, I'm going to start with me first. Michael Jackson said, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. That's a fact. So yeah, I thank you for listening to this video. I'm coming back with part 2 because we have a little bit more. We have a lot more to unpack in here, but I only have a certain amount for each segment. So I thank you for listening. This is the Bajo channel, home of self-care, beauty, wellness, and any and everything that'll help you to become the most empowered version of you. I thank you. And again, you please remember that self-care is the best care. Later.